Our following lecturer has been employed in Nokia R&D as a test engineer for 2 years now. She believes in continuous learning, focuses on improving her skills, and looks for an opportunity to develop and to achieve goals. She is a progressive learner of cybercrime and cybersecurity. Privately, she is a creator of art and a passionate athlete. With a presentation on cyber safety in digital era, let's welcome Mandara Nagendra.
Thank you for hosting me today. Hi, everybody. I am Mandara Nagendra. I am your speaker for the topic Cyber Safety in Digital Era. Never before has our data security and privacy been more important. With so much of our information now being stored permanently online, the possibility of having this data taken is an ever present threat. Organized cybercrime is fast becoming a problem that the organizations are struggling to fight back against. But what exactly is cyber safety? How is it different from cyber security? What are the challenges around us? What are cyber crimes? And what can be our first line of defense? These are all the questions that I'll be answering today. Why this topic? Over the past decade or so, the internet has seen a meteoric rise in coverage. In developed countries, nearly the entire population now has access to a moderate speed internet connection, either through broadband or mobile. In developing countries too, the internet has started penetrating the poorest of towns and neighborhoods. The internet has had numerous benefits for people of all backgrounds, vocations, and demographics. However, as is the case with everything good, the internet has its drawbacks as well. Internet safety is as important as anything else to us now. So today we will be discussing on the above mentioned things and to see how we can remain safe. Cyber safety. It can often be hard to define cyber safety or provide a concrete meaning of it. It is not a rigid field in its own right, but rather a collection of steps and measures. Hence, it can be defined as a set of measures meant to promote the safe usage of Internet and prevent exposure to Internet fraud, malware, or theft. Now, the question is, what is cybersecurity and how is it different from cyber safety? Cybersecurity refers to the physical operations of networks and computers over the Internet. If a hacker obtains remote control of your computer and alters the line of codes in its operating system, or if a company's network fails because of thousands or millions of messages being directed at it by computers all around the world, or if a virus freezes all your data and then criminals offer you to unfreeze it if you pay a ransom. These are all cybersecurity issues. By contrast, cyber safety concerns the emotional and psychological impact of what you see, read, and hear online. Say if a teenager receives a message on Instagram or Facebook from a person she knows at school telling her she's ugly or stupid or asking her to kill herself, this is a cyber safety issue. Or if a child sees age inappropriate content or violent content online, this also is a cyber safety issue. But why is cyber safety important? Fundamentally, our society is more technologically reliant than ever before, and there is no sign that this trend will slow. Data leaks that could probably result in identity theft are now publicly posted on social media channels. Sensitive information like social security number, credit card information, and bank account details are now stored in cloud storage services. The fact of the matter is, whether you're an individual, small business, or large multinational, you rely on computer systems every day. Pair this with the rise in cloud storage services, poor cloud storage security, smartphones, and Internet of Things, and we have a numberless cybersecurity threats that did not exist a few decades ago. Governments around the world are bringing more attention to cybercrimes. General data protection regulation is one such example. It has increased the reputational damage of data breaches by forcing all organizations in the European Union to communicate data breaches, appoint a data protection officer, require user consent to process information, anonymize data for privacy. The trend towards public disclosure is not just limited to Europe. Standard boards have released frameworks to organizations to help them understand their security risks, improve cybersecurity measures, and prevent cyber attacks. With all this, we see still a lot of challenges in cybersecurity. First, third parties can unlawfully misuse the potential of 5G network. 5G is something that is making the years more curious. This is because it will let the current generation use their beloved gadgets more efficiently. But here arises a problem. The generation will be the victim of either the emotional or physical attacks. Such attacks will be from the side of cyber assaulters who will unlawfully enter the 5G wireless architectures, comprising the complex architectures via various endpoints, and misuse the data collected or stored by the smart and speedy gadgets. Second, an increasing rate of mobile malware. Mobile malware is a harmful software that can intentionally target the operating system of mobiles and then disturb their performance. The prime reason for its occurrence is non-secure usage of URLs over Wi-Fi or other internet networks. As per the 2021 Mobile Security Report, threats related to mobile malware are faced by 97% of organizations. Third, ransomware attacks are targeting critical business aspects. Ransomware attacks are directly or indirectly becoming unpredictable for small and medium businesses. Those attacks are also impacting the larger organizations having proper knowledge of data violence and other compliance standards. As per the Checkpoint research, the percentage of ransomware attacks has gone up to 102 in 2021 across the globe. You may think about what happens in these attacks. Here, cyber criminals send malware or other viruses to your phones or cellular networks you're using. This infects the devices like laptops or mobiles, whichever is connected to the network, and all your personal information is accessed by such assaulters. Now, no one can stop those criminals from asking you ransom. Fourth, no control over phishing and spear phishing. Spear phishing will easily be understood once we understand what phishing attacks are. So phishing is somewhat related to social media. Cyber criminals prefer these attacks because this helps them gather your personal information like card details, current location, or other sensitive information. Such attackers use deceptive emails or websites and show them in such a manner that they look legitimate. Spear phishing, on the other hand, is a subpart of phishing and is its more sophisticated version. Here, online fraudulent send malicious emails to well-researched victims. Moving to cybercrime. What is cybercrime? When you hear and read about the range of cybercrimes out there, you might be tempted to stop using the internet entirely. But that is probably too drastic. Instead, it's a good idea to know how to recognize cybercrime, which can be the first step in helping protect yourself and your data. Identity theft, phishing, virus, malware, hacking are all just another name of cybercrime. In simple words, it is a criminal activity done using a computer and the internet to steal your personal information from other users. Now, what distinguishes traditional crime and cybercrime? One difference is the use of digital computers, but technology alone is insufficient for any distinction that might exist between different realms of criminal activity. Although we talk about cybercrime as a separate entity to traditional crime, it is carried out by the same types of criminals for the same type of reasons. The methods that cyber criminals use to gather information and perform an attack is comparable to physical traditional crime. For example, let's compare how a criminal gang might go breaking into a bank to steal money against how a cyber criminal gang might break into a computer network to steal data. Number one, the scale. Attacks can be conducted on a scale, but it is not possible in the physical world. A traditional bank robber may only be able to hit one or two banks a week, whereas a cyber attacker can target hundreds of sites at once. Two, the reach. Attacks can be performed from anywhere in the world. They can be performed anonymously and within jurisdiction where the consequence of those actions may not or cannot be addressed by the criminal justice system. Attackers are also able to extract far more data digitally than would ever be possible in the physical world. For example, 1 gigabyte of data is approximately 4,500 paperbooks. Think of how many gigabytes of data can be stored on a system. Hackers can just extract this within a matter of minutes. Number three is the speed. Attacks can be conducted at machine speed. A criminal can just write a piece of code that can target multiple sites in a minute. What can we do? In order to combat the threat of cyber attack, organizations need to have in place appropriate security frameworks, education and training plans for their employees, and technical system control appropriate to their business. Phishing is one of the most popular scam and I'll be talking about it today. Phishing is a cybercrime in which a target or targets are contacted by email, telephone, or text message by someone posing as a legitimate institution. We have four types of phishing. First, email phishing. Attacks are sent out by mails. Spear phishing. Attacks are directed at specific individuals. Whaling. Attacks are targeted at senior executives. SMS phishing. Attacks are sent through text messages. Regardless of the type of phishing, the goal is to just trick the recipient into believing that the message is something that they really need. It might be a request from their bank, a note from someone in their company, or any link to click on or an attachment to download. Now, what happens if you click on a phishing link? Clicking on a phishing link or opening an attachment in any of the messages may install malware like virus, spyware, or ransomware on your device. This is all done behind the scenes, so it is undetectable to any user. Once the malware has been installed, it could harvest your sensitive information and send out phishing messages to your contacts or provide a cyber criminal with remote access to your device. What has to be done if you click on a phishing link? If you happen to make a mistake of clicking on a phishing link or downloading a malicious attachment, you can just follow these steps to minimize the repercussions. First, disconnect your device. The first thing you need to do is immediately disconnect the compromised device from internet. If you're using a wired connection, the easiest way to do is to just unplug your internet cable from your computer. If you're connected through Wi-Fi, locate the Wi-Fi settings on your device and disconnect your current network. If you cannot locate your Wi-Fi settings, just go directly to your Wi-Fi router and shut it off. This will reduce the risk of malware spreading to other devices on your network, prevent the malware from sending sensitive information, and keep someone away from remotely accessing your device. Second is backup your files. Now that you're disconnected from your internet, you should back up your files. Data can be destroyed or erased in the process of recovering from a phishing attack. If you regularly back up your files using any external hard drive, then you may just need to back the files which have been updated or created since the last backup. Focus on protecting particularly sensitive documents and information, as well as irreplaceable files like family photos or videos. Next, scan your system for malware. If you're not a very techy person, I suggest you to take your device to a professional to check for malware. Be sure to ask your friends and families for reference. Just because someone says they fix computers or another electronic device does not mean they know how to identify and remove malware. If you want to tackle this step on your own, perform a thorough two-step scan of your system. After you've disconnected your device from the internet, run a complete scan with your antivirus program. Do not do anything else on your device when the program is running. You will be notified when the scan is completed. Just focus on the program's instructions to remove such suspicious files that are found. Next, change your credentials. Malware may be used to harvest sensitive information, including online usernames and passwords, credit card numbers, bank account details, or any other identifying information. If you think you've been tricked into acting on a phishing message, change your online credentials immediately. Do not make the mistake of using the same credentials, same username and password on all your online accounts. This makes it much easier for criminals to steal your credentials, access your personal information, and steal your funds. Last is to set up a fraud alert. To protect yourself, contact one of the major credit bureaus and ask for a free fraud alert to be placed in your credit reports. The three major bureaus are Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. Once you've placed a fraud alert with one of these bureaus, they are required by law to notify the other two on your behalf. This will make it difficult for the fraudsters to open new accounts in your name. Now, what are the precautions that you can take against the fraudulent transactions? First is the phishing links. Fraudsters create a third-party website which just looks like the existing genuine website. They are generally circulated by fraudulent messages or on social media platforms or emails. Most of the time, customers enter secure credentials by just having a glance and clicking at the link, but not checking the detailed URL. Precautions one you can take is not to click on an unknown links. Care should be taken to verify the website details, especially where it requires for you to enter your financial details. Next is impersonating through social media. Fraudsters create fake accounts on popular social media platforms like Facebook or Instagram. They send requests to your friends for seeking urgent money. They gain trust over a period of time and use a private information for extortion or blackmail. Precaution is not to share your personal or confidential information on social media platforms. Next is lottery fraud. Fraudsters send emails or make phone calls that you've just won a lottery. Always doubt when you come across such unbelievable lottery or offers. Next is online job fraud. Fake job portals are created, and when victim shares secure credentials like bank account or your card details on these websites for registrations, the account is just compromised. In some cases, fraudsters also post themselves as officials of a reputed company, confirm your selection after doing a fake interview. The victim is later asked to make payments for mandatory training programs. Always remember the genuine company offering job will never ask you for money. OTP-based frauds. Victims get SMS or instant messages from fraudsters impersonating as officials offering loans or enhancement of credit limits, and they are asked to contact them. You'll be later even asked to fill up forms and your OTP or PIN details. Remember, you never share your OTP or PIN in any form with anyone. These are some general guidelines that you can follow to be aware. 1. Be wary of suspicious pop-ups that appear during browsing sessions. Second, always check for secure payment gateways. Keep your PIN, password, card details, and CVV number private. Turn on two-factor authentication. Never open emails from unknowing sources containing suspicious links or attachments. For your device safety, change passwords at regular intervals. Install on antivirus and also its updates whenever available. Always scan USB devices. Do not install unknown applications or software. For safe internet banking, always use virtual keyboards. Log out of your sessions immediately. Avoid unknown browsers or websites. For password safety, always use a combination of alphanumeric and special characters in your password. If we are safe online, we can all enjoy the internet's abundant resource of information, entertainment, and social connection while guarding against dangers and risks. Follow these simple rules, use your common sense, and act smart. Being aware can help you stay away from cybercrime. Thank you.
Thank you for this presentation and for sharing your knowledge with us today.